Hello, everyone. Hi again, another episode of the podcast. And today we are going to talk about something really important, which is inspection. Inspection is always important when you buy a property, important for the seller, important for the buyer. And today we have Mo. He's a expert inspector here in Calgary. Mo, introduce yourself, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Mo Khalil. I'm a home inspector with Motoria Solutions. I've been inspecting properties locally in Calgary and our surrounding areas for the last decade.
It's good.
Yeah,
Mo, today I know inspection it's a big subject and a lot of things to talk about. We always have a limited time for our episodes, or I mean our podcast. So let's talk about few things that's important for buyer and seller when they sell or when they buy a property.
phenomenal.
Yeah, tell me, how important is the inspection for buyer?
For a buyer, it's essential. It's
Hmm.
one of the largest purchases that someone's going to make in their lifetime.
Okay,
Okay. And you want to protect that investment that you make because it's going to be your hard earned money and it's going to be where you live for the next while.
that's
Okay.
correct.
When it comes to the inspections, when we see properties, a lot of times we view them, we like them, we base it off, our needs and our space requirements, but we don't know what's underlining. Okay,
I
so
agree. Yes.
so we see a property with new paint, new floors, light renovations, it looks very presentable. But we don't know what's going on underneath within the plumbing system, the electrical system, the safety devices in the property, if we have any damage related to roofing, insulation, and generally places within the house that we don't access all the time.
Yeah, because when we go to see the house, everything looks nice, everything looks clean, but we don't know what underneath. We don't know what we check, what we look at, right? So that's how important the inspection is.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. Okay, I have a question for you. Now the seller post or listed the house for sale. Okay, is there anything that the seller can prepare that's to make the house good to go for inspection if any buyer want to do inspection?
Absolutely. I think the most essential thing is to declutter the home.
Can you
So,
explain that, please?
declutter the home is removing unnecessary items and
Hmm.
storage from the property. Okay.
Okay.
We know that a lot of times we're selling our home and we're still living in it. But the most important thing to do is move stuff away from the walls.
Hmm.
Okay. Declutter underneath the vanities and cabinets, underneath the bathrooms and kitchen, so we can access the plumbing. We can access the electrical components if needed be. So decluttering, removing pets is a big one as well.
What do you mean, pets?
Removing the pets from the inspection day, cleaning up any, let's say, droppings in the backyard. So we
Okay.
don't all have to step into it and then walk that around our property as well. And just getting things ready for the next person.
Okay, so basically to have easy access. It happened to me before, and I see it many times that the inspector, if they can't have access to certain things, they don't do inspection.
You
They say,
can't,
you're
yes,
right? They say
that's
like, I
absolutely.
can't go here. I don't know, you guys like scared to have any damage or
No,
breaking
it's
something
within
or
our
what?
standard of practice. It's a non-invasive visual inspection.
Okay.
So in our standard of practice, we can't move stuff in case of damage, because it's a liability thing as well. People leave stuff a certain way, and when they come home, they want it to look like
To
that
be the
as well,
same way, yeah.
right?
So that's few things that we need, or the seller need to prepare, right?
Absolutely.
To help us, to help the
To
buyer.
help facilitate, this reduces the amount of what we would end up calling a limitation.
Yes.
Okay. We don't want to have limitations in our reports. We don't want to go through an inspection with things that we don't visually get our eyes and equipment on.
I see.
Okay. So by decluttering the areas, keeping it accessible for us allows us to capture that much more information along the way.
I see some inspector or they don't want to turn on the dishwasher. Scared it's gonna leak or something like that. Is this one of your practice that any inspector should turn on the dishwasher and try all the appliances?
You well, within our standard of practice, depending on which organization an inspector is with, appliances don't fall under an inspection item for all of them. But
Okay.
that comes as a minimum.
Okay.
I would say for myself and a good inspector will test all the appliances because our kitchens and our appliances is something that we use on a daily basis,
Hmm.
not a seasonal
That's
item.
right.
So to find out if the dishwasher leaks is an essential thing to know because of the volume of water that goes through a dishwasher can
Yeah,
cause quite a bit of damage,
yeah.
as well as ventilation of the property. Some houses do have exhaust fans on their range hoods and some don't. And depends on somebody's cooking style, they may want to have one installed.
So it's a common practice that the inspector should inspect and try all the appliances, right?
Not required, but yes,
Okay.
definitely,
I prefer when if I'm a buyer, I prefer that you test them to tell me what's going on,
absolutely.
right?
Because a lot of times, if some at the inspection day, if we don't test those appliances, they will be tested at for example, a 24-hour walkthrough.
Yeah,
And if those leak at that time, it's a little bit late.
that's right.
We should have captured it
I
before.
agree.
So
Yes.
by not inspecting, let's say, our laundry equipment, our kitchen appliances and stuff like that, there's a lot of missed information there.
Yes, I agree. I hear something about sewer inspection. What is a sewer inspection? How important for the buyer to do a sewer inspection?
So depending on the properties, a sewer inspection is a great tool that we use in order to see from the property all the way to the city tie-in
Oh, okay.
what the condition of the underground sewer system's like.
Hmm.
Nobody wants a backup in their house. It's quite disgusting.
Oh,
Okay.
it's horrible.
A lot of times when we have a house generally about 20 years old is
Hmm.
when we recommend definitely get a sewer inspection. Okay. Because at that time we have a lot of vegetation that has grown, so a
Hmm.
lot of trees. Especially when we're buying homes in older communities with lush vegetation, giant pine trees and stuff like that, the roots grow. And
That's
those
right.
roots can get into the sewer line as
I had
well,
this experience before,
and
yes.
it can cause clogging and backups. As well, different age properties have different materials to make up their sewer line.
Hmm.
Okay, some of them use plastic, some use concrete, some of them use cast iron. Over time, all of these materials have a degrading rate.
Yes.
Okay, so metal, the wall thickness can shrink over time, corrosion can occur. Um, the rigidity of some pipes with the weight can cause them to collapse, offset, move. So when we flush our toilets and drain our water, it doesn't get all the way to the city. Okay,
Mm.
so generally the purpose of the sewer is to have that line checked to make sure that the integrity of it is good, like the rest of the house.
That's
Okay,
right.
and at the same time, when it comes to doing repairs underground, it can become very costly as well.
Of course.
Okay,
Yes.
and accessibility is another one too. You may not always get to the point of where that break is or
Hmm.
damaged line is
Mm.
without interrupting, a main corridor, a
Mm.
service, or your neighbor's property, or something like that. So we have to ensure that,
That's everything's
yeah,
okay with this house. Is that basically for the older house? I know it's very important for the older house. How about houses a little bit newer? Let's say 2015 and up, or brand new houses. Still important?
it's still important to know because you just don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
We were relying on, the builder to do
And to be
everything.
honest, misconception that, oh, I'm buying a brand new house, there's nothing wrong with it. And I don't think so.
And that's
There is
very wrong. That's a
exactly,
very wrong
especially
mindset.
if the whole area was under construction, the house was under construction, could be a lot of things down here, right?
Absolutely. And it's done and it's backfilled and we don't see it again.
Yeah,
So it all depends how quickly and the quality of the work is done.
I
Of
agree.
course, we do have city quality checks and this and that, but do we always rely on someone else's word,
Okay.
right? We can trust, but we also verify.
So you're telling me sewer inspection is essential as well,
Yes.
right?
The more information you have on the property you're buying will give you the best peace of mind.
I know there is sometimes people think or the buyer think, okay, when I hire an inspector, his job is to find problems in the house.
Mhm.
I believe is one of your job is to educate us about the house, how the house running, what's going on with the house. Is
Yes,
that right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the condition of the house is one of the most important parts. Okay. So having the condition of a property in good working order or in good care will allow that house to last longer and
Yeah.
perform longer for every other buyer down the line.
Okay.
When we don't do our regular maintenance and we don't upkeep our properties, things degrade over time, materials would need to be changed, and the cost of repairs go up.
Yeah, okay. So I was right. I was right
Absolutely
about just
right.
the inspector should educate us about the house. Not his job is to find just problem so you can say like, oh, I don't want to buy the house or I want to reduce the price.
Yes, so
Okay.
that's a thing that everybody thinks is when we come to do an inspection that we're there to renegotiate the original offer.
Exactly.
Okay? The education purpose is for us to teach the buyers how to operate within that house. Every home has maintenance requirements,
Mm-hmm.
and all your equipment has maintenance requirements as well.
Yeah,
So to fulfill those on an interval basis as needed is essential to keep all the equipment running at its best performance.
that's right.
So I'll give you one example. Most homes will have a furnace,
Mm-hmm.
okay, just basic.
Yeah.
Furnaces have filters in them, and those filters will need to be changed on an interval basis.
Yes.
For a household that doesn't have pets,
How often would change the filter?
every 3 months, 4 times a year. What I like to tell everybody is 4 times of the year that are easy to remember. So Thanksgiving in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
Christmas, New Year's in the wintertime, Easter in the spring, and Canada Day in the summer.
That's a good way to remember.
Very easy.
Yes. Well,
And that,
Thanksgiving people remember. I don't know if you're gonna remember or if you're gonna focus on making food.
yeah, well, and
And
before you have
invite
your turkey,
everybody.
you change your filter. That's
Right. Yes,
so
but
these
this is a
are
good way to remember.
yeah,
Yes.
these are I try and use these examples as they are holidays and most people are off or most
Yes.
people are home or celebrating.
Yeah, that's right. I
So it gives you
agree.
the opportunity to, while you're home, to perform those essential steps.
Sometimes the inspector telling us or part of the walking through is like, okay, the ventilation, like the turn on and off.
Yep.
Should we turn on the ventilation in the house couple hours a day?
We should ventilate. Depends what we have in the property. So every
Okay.
property is different. Some of them have HRVs, which is a heat recovery unit,
Yeah.
generally on a timer, and that will replenish the air in its service interval.
Okay.
Okay. We also have other devices like a whole house fan, manual switch.
Exactly. The manual. I think most of the houses with the manual switch.
Correct. So with those ones with the manual switch, when we start to see condensation built up in the windows in the wintertime,
Mm-hmm.
tells us that our humidity is quite high, and then we can use that ventilation fan to dissipate some of this moisture.
Okay.
As well as if we're cooking and we, leave our cookies too long, it burns a little
Yes.
bit, our range hood fan can help, and as well as that whole house fan can help. But one tip to give you is with the whole house fan in the wintertime, if that is running, it's also exhausting the heat. So if
Yeah.
you have it running continuously, you're also raising
Getting the
your
heat out.
utilities.
Yes.
Yeah, we're heating the outdoors.
Another benefit of this is just to prevent molding. Is that right? In
Well,
case if you cook a lot, there's a lot of steam inside the house.
it can help.
Yeah.
So with this one being an exhaust fan, we're pulling extra moisture out of the home, any stale air that we have, and we're just keeping our air balanced.
Okay. That's very good. Okay. Now the buyer bought the house, he got the key and move in. Is there anything that the buyer need to look at or update upon moving in?
There's some things that are critical when you first move into a property. When we do our home inspections, we're checking to see if our smoke detectors are expired or not. If they are soon to expire, the day we move in is a good idea to update those. They live on a 10-year service life.
Is it the expiry date on them?
Generally, it's on the side of the component or on the inside.
Not when it starts beeping. Start beeping
No,
could be only
no.
battery, right?
Yes, when it starts beeping, generally you could replace the battery, but that is a temporary solution.
Okay.
When it starts chirping at you, just it's better to replace it.
Okay, that's one thing that's buyer would like to update or look at it. What else?
Yes. Toilet wax seals are good for 10 years as well. So when we move into a new property, you always want to put your knees over the toilets and you want to try and give it a bit of a wiggle. If it starts to jiggle with you under your feet, we want to tighten those up. A lot of leaks we find are from the toilet wax seals. So it's a good
Ah,
idea to
okay.
update those ones with your smoke detectors when you first move in.
Okay. Yes.
It's essential whether it occurs during the process or after you move in is cleaning all the ducts, cleaning all the ventilation system.
Mm.
You know, if you have dander or dust,
Okay.
some families have, you know, family members with allergies. So
Yes.
it's important to have clean air when you move in too.
Okay. And especially, I think that might help if they have a pet. It was any pet in the house,
Correct. If they
right?
had a previous pet and you don't have a pet or you have allergies to pet dander,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's essential to get the whole mechanical system cleaned out.
Okay. I get this question a lot, and a lot of buyer worried. Let's say they go into the basement, and the basement is unfinished, but you see cracks in the concrete in the basement, or they might see cracks just outside, outside of the house, right?
Correct.
Could be crack in the foundation. Can you tell us a little bit what to worry, what not to worry about?
So on the floor slab and garage floor slabs, you're always going to find some cracking. It's just the general nature of the shrinkage while it's curing. Things that we look for to determine whether it's just, you know, a curing crack or if it's a structural crack is generally the thickness of it, how
Okay.
far it's spreading, and as well as the alignment of it. If it's one
Oh,
side is sinking more than the other,
yes, that's
then
bad,
that
right?
tells us yes, compaction on one side during original construction if it was newer, or we have to take a look at our grading and drainage system. Because if we're not grading our water away from the house, it's going to cause it to sink in that
Yeah.
area.
I always hear like if it's fit a Tony, that's okay or bad. Like how you
Yeah, we
guys?
do have gauges. You could
Yeah.
put a loonie through it. If you could hold a loonie, it's already too thick.
Okay, I
Okay.
see.
Um, if you have a step in it, that's already should be evaluated.
Okay.
Okay. But if we have light cracking that you can't fit a toonie through it, you can't even fit a dime through it. Okay. These are seasonal cracks as
Seeing
well.
look like which is
Yeah.
normal, right?
So in the wintertime, the whole building will contract. In the summertime with heat, it'll expand. This, therefore, these cracks will move and the stress of the house will relax itself.
If the slab, as you said, like have a crack or white crack and one part higher or lower than the other part, if that's really, really bad in the house, I should not buy it or it's easy to fix.
Well, the concrete slab in the basement is separate from the rest of the building. It's poured separately.
Oh, but
Okay.
so has nothing to do with the foundation.
So it doesn't have nothing to do with the foundation walls.
Okay.
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 So therefore, there's ways to mitigate that. We have systems that can be used called mud jacking. They
Okay.
put urethane underneath and they lift it so now it's uniform. A lot of times when we have this step elevation, it's generally one side is sinking more than the other.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to be able to fill that void and keep them even.
Okay. What about foundation? Let's say outside of the house, I know you guys looking at the foundation. If any crack, if it's serious crack, like a little bit wide,
Yeah.
easy to fix, something danger.
Nowadays we have a very interesting process. It's called injection. So they
Okay.
use urethane and they fill in the cracks.
Okay.
Okay. This kind of gives it a bond, so now it becomes a very strong unit all over again. So repairs for foundation cracks have come a long way
Hmm.
over the years. And now we're using the injection process. It makes it more affordable, a
Okay.
lot stronger, and it makes it less, let's say, less daunting to do the work on.
Okay. Is it costly?
Not too costly. Um, there will be some cost to
Yeah.
implement it. If it's a finished basement, you have to expose the
Yeah,
foundation wall.
exactly.
But this process nowadays can be handled inside the house. You don't have to dig up the exterior
Okay. I see.
as we did previously.
Okay. As I said, talking about inspection, there's a lot to talk about, right? And we'll probably might sit down again and get.
Anytime.
I know I will get a lot of questions. I know, and we might sit down again and talk again. Mo,
Abs-
thank you very much for coming today,
My
for all this
pleasure.
information you told us today, and I believe I'm gonna see you again, and we have a lot of other big conversation again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's my pleasure to meet with you today,
Yes, I
and
really
I'd love to
appreciate
do it
that you
again.
coming today.
You
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody, for following. And I believe we might sit down again with Mo, and I will see you again for the next podcasting. See you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.